Game Woven is now proudly part of the One Shot Network. Check out other great podcasts at oneshotpodcast.com.
Previously on the Game Woven podcast. From the Watchtower of Akiage to Dawnbreaker Cathedral, fear and uncertainty ruled the bridge. Isolated and suffering from disease, some began to question whether Tegale had abandoned them to die or was forcing them to become stronger. Many joined the Hexologists, attempting to discover the answers in the city beneath them. A mysterious sect calling themselves the Anchorists began advertising a conclave, until their leader, Overton city planner, was found buried under bricks bearing the words, "Stones are for building." Amid the tumult, calls for organized leadership were answered by Handler Deontis, who was appointed Overtonian for a period of 10 months to give stability amid the crisis. Among his first official acts, he authorized the large-scale salvage of building materials from the city, free of examination from hexologists, and revoked access to the Mirror Shrine that put Overton in contact with the Desert Kingdoms. Now forced to work in secret, a small group began to study the movements and history of the exploratory duo that haunted the streets of Dalatheria.
Emily, are you ready for your card?
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
Well, that's okay, because this card is, oh boy, you're legit going to be so happy about this. The Four of Autumn. The strongest among you dies. What caused their death? Or the weakest among you dies. Who's to blame?
Oh no. Do I actually believe he's the strongest or weakest among us?
Certainly has the most
He has the
power.
most political power.
He's the strongest political being.
Politically, he's the strongest. But you can always make a new guy to kill.
You could also say that he's the weakest because he's a little baby man dictator, right?
I
Like,
mean,
you can,
yeah, to people, he's the strongest. To me, he is the weakest.
You can kill.
He is
You can
the
kill
weakest
this guy
link.
from several angles.
Uh-huh.
You could also kill first to 10 if you want to, because first to 10's pretty strong.
Oh.
But we know first 10 will find a way out.
Problem with killing first of 10 is they are not currently one person. They are so many people that you can't actually know if they are the strongest or the weakest. They could be both. They could be neither. They are an entity at this point. They have so many identities.
I simply think first of 10 is a neat tool we'll save for later.
Okay, Mouse.
Who's it gonna be? You got a gun with one bullet.
Well, we don't have a lot of named people, and I don't know if I want to create people right now. I just did a lot of that.
Well, we got one guy.
We sure do.
Hey, look, if the cards set you up to kill your least favorite person, I think you just kill your least favorite person.
And have fun with the implications.
But what
Yeah.
would be the decree made before it happens? Because it has to happen.
Don't kill
first.
me!
Oh God, please! I'm sorry.
Killing me is illegal!
Just do the order of operations.
Could the decree be why? Could the degree have led to it?
Like I said, there's so many possibilities.
The card prompt and figure out the ramifications later. It's okay.
We have a special thing going with this decree. It kind of supersedes all of it.
No, it does not supersede anything. If he dies, he dies. And furthermore, you are in an authoritative position to post somebody else as the new Overtonian. Just do that.
Ew, I hate authoritarian positions.
You could do whatever you want with the consequences. We do big swings. Get weavy with it. Fuck around and then we'll find out.
Weavy.
Let the weave move you.
The morning after the latest missive through the mirrors, received by the Overtonian Deontis, he doesn't show up for his usual decree. For a while, it goes unnoticed or ignored, The whims of one cannot be known when he has the weight of the entire bridge on his shoulders. But come sunset, he still has not shown his face. A search party is dispatched. There may be ne'er-do-wells in the ruins. There has been unrest. It isn't until the sun has lost its final light that he is found in the cathedral, untouched, unmoving. They wait to see if his ghost reappears on the bridge, but he's never seen again. As far as they know, who's to blame? Anyone and no one. But that night, they see a figure on the water of the stream. A woman with a stern gaze and cold blue eyes. I see that contempt, Zed.
Yeah, the guy that was helping us fix our house is dead.
But you have your roof, it's fine.
Well, now
We got him, man.
just because Deontis' reign is over because he died, it doesn't mean that the project is over. Someone still needs to rule Overton. Zad, would you like to wait until the terminus of the project to declare what the new rulership looks like, or do you want to pivot the project right now?
As the project cannot die from this.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of power.
Yeah, and I like the decree system that we've got running. In lieu of a better solution, a lot of the people that installed Deontis to begin with, they basically all just kind of head into the back room, and there's a...
Oh, there's like a shadow syndicate.
I mean, it's like, yeah, kind of, but like...
We
Everybody
see the
knows
smoke
that the
pour
guy's
out
dead.
and know they've made their decision.
It's all of the people that were in the inner circle to begin with. So it's the dean of the College of Hexology is in there, and they're all like people who would be instantly recognizable and whose names would be commonly known most of the time. Head of the major divisions. Like, I think that bug guy from way earlier managed to get himself installed here, but instead of it being a singular person, it is a council of the well-to-do and powerful within Overton. They maintain the authority to direct how things are going. So we'll just keep at it. Like, whatever one thing you want to do.
Yeah, you got a decree for us, Emily?
The decree of the council is that no one goes in or out of the cathedral unmonitored.
Yep, that's what I would have done too. Lex, your project is ready.
With the death of Deontis, it's a little easier to get to the mirror. So they've been trying for the last 4 months to get there, and then they took the opportunity with the confusion and chaos of finding out what happened to him to get their message to Nairburn. Nairburn takes time to go through their records, and there were pretty good records of like all the exploration teams they sent out, and they also took note of who never returned. So there is like an empty pair of graves for them back at Nairburn. Their names. Now I could go symbolic, real easy, pulling out names we recognize, or just names.
Lewis and Clark.
No.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. For the Grey Folk, their name is probably Searcher at this point, like, right? Like, or at least while they were gone, at some point they started calling themselves Searcher or whatever. Did we say a gender for these two at any point? I don't think we did.
I don't think you have.
Because right now, my thing, I love giving femme characters masculine names because it's fun. I don't know why.
Like my
Yes,
cat.
they're nice.
Because they're nice. But I think they are two young women named Percival and Icarus.
Gouging.
Icarus being the great. Percival's special knowledge pertains to. It would be very funny if her specialty was in curse breaking. But I think the way that they died when examined, with the newest bodies they have, what were the symptoms of the disease from earlier again?
The sunken eyes.
The sunken eyes is kind of the early onset. We didn't talk about the other things, but it is fatal. So
I think they repeatedly come down with the same disease.
I feel like it's probably some sort of wasting disease. Like you just kind of grow sallow and waste away until.
So perhaps if we can figure out this disease or cure it, we can save them.
And we've only got 2 pulls to do it, so whoo boy.
And who knows, if we don't do it, maybe the curse comes with us.
That's usually how that goes, too. Like, when you say something like that, there's no who knows. It just, that is, you're invoking it. All right, Emily, discover something new, hold a discussion, start a project.
Would a discovery be better than a project, or would a project be better than a discovery?
Depends on the discovery and depends on the project.
The only thing I have to say is because we're getting close to the end, any project just might not get done, which we haven't been afraid of.
Or it would be a bridge project that comes with us, but I don't think the bridge is in any position to start new projects right now.
New project. Be better at projects.
Add projects to the abundance list.
Okay, but that would be a really funny abundance to have. Right now, we kind of have a scarcity, actually.
Discover your project.
Discovery of project.
Emily, discover your project.
The one thing I've thought about discovering is already tied to so many of the things we've done, which is tied into the history of the city.
Well, bring it all together.
Yeah,
Let's put a bow on
tie
it.
it in a nice little bow for us.
Remember, this is new to me.
Yeah, but it won't be new by the time this episode comes out.
I'm here now.
Still, do it.
I will absolutely understand whatever it is you're about to reference.
Also, it means that the people here know about it, which is good. So, go for it.
It's quite simple, really, and I cringed at the irony of Bree moving the search for history project away from where it was, because it turns out you were literally right next to the ruin of the city's archives the whole time.
Ah!
The cluster of buildings next to the cathedral. And while they are essentially guarding the cathedral, during a windstorm, they start to discover the remnants of scrolls and papers and realize there were buildings here. And as they look to see what they find, they realize this is where they kept everything. Much of it is damaged. There was a fire that tore through it, but the answers that they would be able to find were right under their nose the entire time.
Sick. Let's raid the archives. Let's get it picked up.
Just start moving that all onto the bridge.
Maybe, we'll see.
All right, Rob. A glimmer of hope. Finally. Good lord. The 10 of Autumn. Harvest is here and plentiful, add an abundance, or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies, remove a threatening force from the area.
Thank you, cards.
This is the one objectively positive card in autumn.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's only really one threatening force.
That we know of.
Lex, let me know how this hit your brain. So, as the rule of the Overtonian begins to crumble, obviously the council is of course steadfastly enacting what they know to be the will of our beloved Overtonian, but as it is a group of many, the grip that Overton was once under is loosened. It is no longer something that is so all-encompassing, as the city is now pulled in many different directions. And there is like hyper obscure like holiday from Nairburn that hasn't been observed because it would have been a waste of resources. And the tradition is you have to take the first piece of salted meat, the first like pickled jar, like whatever the first thing of like, this is what's gonna be my first thing to get through winter, and you ruin it. You ruin it on makeshift graves of people you want to honor. And the whole point is like, I'm going to take my future and I'm going to literally dash it upon the past to show you how much it means to me. And those two families just do it. They enact this tiny little holiday, which is like not every family usually even does it. It's a very like, it's a very niche thing, but I think that is the last time after that little holiday they see Icarus and they see Percival, and maybe those two are still seen. You let me know, Lex, but I think the sickness is gone. I think that either Percival and Icarus aren't seen anymore, or whenever they're seen, they don't close, but they're never dying. And the sickness has gone away. What do you think?
I think I like
I think they still vanish, maybe.
it.
Maybe they die for a different reason.
Yeah, I don't think all is well.
They're never seen dying of the sickness.
Dying of the sickness.
We can kind of figure out what to do with those elements. But the disease being just sort of vaguely cured is certainly really interesting.
Yeah. Do you also have a decree from the council?
I do. The council has decreed, being led by the head dean of the College of Hexontology, has decreed that by the will of the Overtonian, as it is sustained through the council, the bridge will move in 2 months. So, Bree, what's your
That's a
plan?
bold decree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so curious if that decree is just a shot in the dark, and just a called shot, and they get it, or if someone found a way to know or something.
Someone has figured it out.
We won't answer that, obviously, but I'm so curious.
Bree, your project. We've been sitting for weeks now from the listeners' ears to hear the conclusion of your project. What the fuck happens?
So, this group of like 5 people, after they disappeared, like what, 6 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of like disappeared into the amphitheater and started digging and digging and digging, and they found something. Except for it's more of a someone. Someone is suspended in the air. They aren't able to like reach this person. But she's just floating in the air, and sometimes when they talk to her, they can hear her voice in their head, because this place was cursed before the city came here. It's in a cycle, repeating again and again and again, and then maybe it could get broken. If they can find a way to break her out of there.
I mean, can they do it in 2 months? Do you want to just say that they do find a way to do it?
One person stays to be able to talk to her so she's not alone. The other 4, in the middle of the night, just pack up their things and start walking.
Like leaving the town, or they head back to the bridge?
They leave the town.
Oh.
No one knows where they go, but she says, you'll know it when you see it. And you'll know who to tell where to find me.
Well, looking forward to that, Patch.
That'd be interesting. Yeah. We got more Wanderers in the desert. This is going to be the Wanderers in the Desert patchwork arc. All right. That was the project ticking down. And now, Rob, discover something new, discussion, or project.
I'm going to discover something new, but not the entire community is aware of. But council, after, unredacting and declassifying the communiques from the Overtonian, and, well, there's all these archives now being found, and hexologists and rogue elements have been looking into the city even when they weren't supposed to. They are rejoicing because this chronologically did happen before their decree. There is what they've been looking for just underneath the cathedral. There is something of such great power, a weapon or tool. It's not entirely clear. Something that surely is exactly what the bridge needs. The texts call it the Dawnbreaker, and they realize that with it, anything should be possible.
I get the final prompt.
Did you plan that?
No, I actually totally forgot that 12, 6 around. I also haven't gotten the final prompt in a Quiet Year game yet, so I feel okay with it. I feel okay about it. I feel fine with it.
I'm just giving you shit. It's okay. I love you.
I know. I get shit a lot because I'm the producer. I understand. But I'm also feeling a little defensive right now because you guys are so mean.
You get shit because I love you.
I haven't replaced you with duck noises yet, so...
Haven't started editing yet.
That's true.
That's untrue. She's always editing.
I'm always editing and working on at least 2 novels.
Oh, this is a bad one.
Oh, no. First one of those.
Are you being facetious?
The 3 of Autumn. No, this is great. Someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a contentious project that relates to it.
Okay, but that is actually a really good one to end on here.
It would be a good one to end on here, but I am taking the first prompt.
Of course.
The senior archivist who discovered the origins of the Dawnbreaker and its relationship to the city stands at the southwestern edge of the bridge and calls a full town meeting. I'm going to do something out of order. I want to take my action before I do this. May I?
Do it.
Let's go.
We're going to do another Discover Something New. Overton cracks the code on how this town organized itself governmentally and how the fall happened, how the place fell. The way it organized itself was in what they call sheafs. It was like the branches of a tree. So there were family or found family units that would make decisions internally, and then it would gradually work its way inward and inward more centrally until it reached sort of a central council that would make decisions based on kind of the wider city itself. And this worked pretty well, because everyone would just pick representatives and they would just roll up to the relevant layer, and then the appropriate decisions would be made for the good of the whole, and everyone was basically equal, and it was pretty egalitarian. they discover that the city may have been Verdreen in nature, just because of the staggering amount of plant metaphors that they use in their texts, particularly when it comes to governance. The way this place falls is someone decides that an authoritarian rule needs to be instituted, and the river spirit itself destroyed the city and herself at the same time. And this kind of makes everyone's blood run cold when this massive discovery is made. But it also sort of inserts an idea about how Overton could self-govern. And then we come to this scene with this lead archivist. And he announces to the people, he says, I have discovered how to access the Dawnbreaker, the answer to all of our questions. It is love and it is blood. It is blood and it is love. Whoever wishes to hold the Dawnbreaker must sacrifice that which he loves most. And so I say to you, Overton, I love you more than anything else. And then he throws his arms outward and falls backward off of the bridge. And before he lands inside of the cathedral, the bridge disappears.
Oh, it's sick as hell.
You would.
Dude! Ah!
We're never gonna get into that. We're never gonna get to that sword.
Good!
It's always gonna be a cliffhanger.
Good!
Good.
What do you mean? That guy just wielded it.
I just willed it.
He gave up the thing he loved the most.
Fan theory. Deontis tried to do that. Turns out he didn't actually love anything.
Right.
He just fell and died.
No.
He had
loved
himself.
He most left himself.
more than anything.
He tried and just like, okay, bye.
He gave up the thing that he loved most, himself. And then he was dead, so he couldn't wield the sword. Sword was fine. Sword was right there. It was just like, hey, what's an... Oh. Okay, never mind then. Went back to sleep.
To touch the sword is to wield it, and to wield the sword means the price must be paid.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe now the entire city just gets to go, this is fun as hell. I'm going to assume... So, we've probably passed the statutes of like where the end credits are going to be. But my explicit intention, like my intention with finishing this up was going to be get one more decree from Ben, and then like kind of pay off politically what the end of this period means for the next round of rulership. And Ben, when we get to winter, do we just assume that the bridge is being ruled by sheaves? And like, are we just doing an enclave syndicalist communism, or?
We can kind of think about that. I am also, as always, tempted that the bridge just shows up at the next place. I think it would be very interesting for the bridge to just appear at the next game location with everyone gathered, wondering when they get to play with the Dawnbreaker, and then now they're in a new place that also has a situation.
Yeah.
I'm willing to leave that up to the fates. As for my decree, I will not be doing a decree because shit got kind of weird at the end for basically everyone, and they got interrupted. I kind of want to leave things very, very open-ended. That might be a discussion that we have when we reconvene for...
Yeah. I'll leave this one on this project.
That's the other theme for this part of the arc, for the fall part of the arc, is non-closure.
Great. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we did not get to, and that's okay.
There was a lot of stuff that was just intentionally left open.
Yeah.
Like the end of
Like-
Oh Captain, My Captain, the end of Echoes.
I love that at no point did anyone do anything with the fact that there's 3 swords now. I didn't know to do that. I just felt like saying it. I'm like, okay.
2 of them were glass, so they were...
Nope. I said they were not explicitly not glass.
No, you said one of them wasn't glass.
Well, because the Grey Folk wouldn't have a glass one anyway. was saying like what I meant was there is no Varakli weapon of those 3 weapons there.
Thanks, everybody, and that was Game Woven. We'll be back. We're looking at another game before we do Winter of the Quiet Year, and then we'll do Winter, and that will be the end of the Traveling Bridge arc. So stick around, listen to more. Appreciate you all. Bye.
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 Out of here.
Thank you for listening to Game Woven, a collaborative storytelling collective building a world one game at a time. If you like what we're doing, please go give us a review on your favorite podcasting app and be sure to tell your friends about us. And you can also support us over on Patreon. Today we played Fall of a Quiet Year by Avery Adler, featuring me, Brianna Jean, Emily Anderson, TT Benjamin, Robbie Rowling, and Zekiel.
It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. By the way, I hope you're having a good time, and I love you very much. And I know things have been a little rough, and I know life hard, life sad, but I love you. Kiss, kiss. Goodbye.